Hi, this is a tutorial on the Ultralight Shutters dealer portal. From the website, we're going to go log in, use your dealer portal credentials. This is a specific tutorial on the shutter builder. So we're going to go to quotes, create quote, project name, test project, project notes, and then we're going to go to project items. We're going to add an item, a new roll shutter. Product information, just to identify this shutter. If you have a quote with 20 shutters, you want to make sure that you're laying them out kitchen window, living room left, living room main or center, living room right, master bedroom, master bathroom, things like that. Quantity, if you have 3 large bay windows, you can set it up so you measure the dimensions of one, double check the dimensions of all the others, but if they're identical, you can just have your quantity set to 1, 2, 5, 10. Width type, so the width type, the total width you can see down here is 110.6 centimeters from outside to outside guide rail. The opening width, which is currently selected, is 100 centimeters, and that is from the inside to inside guide rail, or your opening width. If you have your dimensions in inches, you can click the inch button, type in 47 inches, convert, and that'll convert it to 119.4 centimeters, which you can see down here is your internal width or inside width or opening width. The height type, there are 3 different types of heights, and for that we're just going to go down to drawings and unit of measure. We're going to change it over to the side view. We're going to go back to general settings. Now you can see you have your clear opening. This means that there's nothing protruding into the opening. If you have an outward swinging window, if you have doors that open and you don't want to have the bottom bar hanging down into the opening, this clear opening height is to make sure that nothing is protruding into that. If you're going by rail height, where you have windows that slide up, or if you are just covering a counter shutter and you're measuring for rail height, that is your bottom of housing or rail height. And you can see here that right now clear opening is 100 centimeters, but if we change it to rail height, that bottom of housing turns into the 100 centimeters. Total height, if you're mounting under lintel, if you've got some sort of obstruction up top, you can measure your total height. And your total height here is going to be your top of housing. This making sure that the roll shutter as a whole unit does not go past that height that you've selected here. Again, you can select the inch and convert it from inches back to centimeters. If you have multiple shutters, or if you have 2 shutters that require 2 motors that are side by side, whether you have a front door to your business and then a large window to the left or right, this is an option that you can select so that the door has a manual override option, or they just have 2 methods of operation. You can select your mounting style here. If you're mounting it in between jamb, you can select that here. If you are mounting it in between jamb, you don't need us to pre-drill the guide rails. So right here you can select do not pre-drill. However, if you are pre-drilling the outside of the guide rails yourself, you can request a quantity of plugs, and we'll include those in the hardware package. For this application, we're just going to go face of wall, meaning it just mounts to the exterior, and also moderate application for pre-drilled guides is the default. If you have a heavy duty shutter, if you need a bit added security or you're worried about excessive wind load, you can select heavy application. We'll just increase the amount of pre-drilled mounting holes that are set up on your guide rails. For lighter applications, indoor shutters, shutters that aren't going to see as much wind load or any wind load, you can select light application, and then we'll just decrease the amount of pre-drilled mounting holes. So for this we'll leave it as moderate application. Next is our color selector. You can select white, clear anodized, or silver, sand beige, black, or black brown, also known as commercial brown. to include that in the code as well. Drawings in unit of measure. If you would prefer to see the imperial units, you can click inch and it'll show you the inches here. We'll just change it back to front view and you can see that those values are also showing in inches. Our next selection is the box type. It is set to automatic so that it means the software will calculate the full diameter of the rolled up curtain and then select the appropriate box type. Say for instance you have 5 shutters all beside each other. They're all the same height except one, which is half the height. If the others are all 205, but that one, the smaller one, is 180, for that specific one you can select 205. You can see here that 165 is the current box used for this shutter. If we select 205, that will change to 205 and our values change accordingly. We'll leave it as automatic for this and then we'll move down to operator. For the operator type, you can select a standard motor, an RTS motor, or both of those in the manual override options, the tape pulley or tape winder with curtain weight limits set to 20 pounds, crank and gear assist for manual operation, and spring assist for manual push up and pull down operation. The operator side, if you have electrical on a specific side or if you would prefer a crank handle on a specific side, this is where you would identify that. The motor type being set to automatic will calculate the curtain weight and select the appropriate motor to lift the curtain. We do give you the opportunity to select a different type of motor. We don't recommend changing this. The switches, if you have a standard motor, it will show you the standard switches. If you have an RTS motor, it will show you the RTS switches. For the Wi-Fi, which is an RTS product, Somfy's MyLink can handle up to 16 channels. You can create scenes and automated schedules. The motor lead exits, if you know where the lead is to exit the panel, you can select it here. For the most part, a lot of people don't know where the lead is going to exit the shutter until they get on site. So we do include a grommet in the hardware package and recommend no pre-drilled holes, and that way you're not having to fix it afterwards. We'll go down to curtain. This is where you select your slat type. Ultra Protect 41 is a lighter slat, still essential for security, is a polyurethane filled slat. Its max widths and heights can be seen above. The Ultra Secure 37 has a hardened resin core for larger applications and heavy duty security. Its widths and heights can be seen above there. The Ultra Guard is a solid wall extruded slat. It comes in a solid grid punch or rectangle punch. And when selected, you can see its information there. For the Ultra Guard series, the only color available is clear anodized. We recommend going to the general settings and selecting clear anodized there. However, for this, we'll go down to curtain. We'll select Ultra Secure 37 and we'll move on from there. The curtain attachments, steel strips are your standard curtain attachment. The anti-push-up device prevents the curtain from being lifted by an unauthorized person. The end slats, 45, 52, and end slat secure. The 45 has a rubber weather strip on the bottom. The 52 has a solid bracket on the bottom. And the end slat secure has added weight for heavy shutters. For this, we will use the end slat secure option and move on to guide rails. The standard guide rail for the Ultra Secure is the HTF 40. For a little added security, we recommend going up to the V40N, and that's including extra wind load. If you are concerned primarily of wind load or security is your primary focus, the HTF Secure is our heavy duty guide rail. The curtains have a locking piece on the end of each slat which locks it into the guide rail. This will prevent the curtain from being pulled out in instances of severe wind shear. It also will prevent the curtain from being pulled or pushed out of the guide rail by a person. You can select plastic or metal plugs for your pre-drilled guide holes. And moving down to build out and sill, the U channel is for our HTF 40, V40N products. This is placed between the guide rails so it will protrude into the opening. This allows the curtain to drop into the U channel, stopping anyone from getting their hands underneath and around that bottom bar. If you do need something for the bottom slat to bump up against, you can use the L angle, and this fixes underneath each side of the guide rail. The build out, if you do need to build the shutter out away from the structure, whether you need to clear door handles, if the object that you're covering with the shutter protrudes away from the structure that you're mounting the shutter to, you can select the appropriate build out. You can select the guides, the sill, or the panel, wherever you need the build out to be located. And once you've selected that, you can go ahead and click Save, and that'll add your shutter to the quote. We offer an online order discount of 1% for our dealers that order their products through the portal. Part of this is an incentive to have our dealers order through the portal. The other is to make sure that we recognize that the dealers are now doing the work, and we want to offer a discount to them on the products that they purchase. Once you have the order ready to go, your freight can be selected here. Prepay and add. Ultralight will quote and coordinate shipping and add it to the final invoice. Estimate and ship. This will give you an estimate of how much it'll cost to ship this quote to you. FOB Ultralight, if you'd like to coordinate with your own carrier, you can select this. We'll let you know as soon as the product is ready for pickup at our dock, and you can coordinate pickup from there. Custom Quote USA, if we're shipping to the United States, we request that you ask for a custom quote. We'll work with our carrier and find the best quote appropriate to your order. We'll also coordinate all customs fees, duties, tariffs, and any additional charges which will be added to the final invoice. For this option, we're going to select Estimate and Ship, and make sure whichever option you choose, add it to quote. I will add it to quote, and then once you've added your freight to the quote, you can review the quote. Make sure to print your shop drawings and make sure that those shop drawings match your specifications. All of our products are built to the shop drawing specifications. Once you've confirmed the shop drawings, once you've figured out your products and the shipping method, and you're ready to order, enter your purchase order number and place the order. This has been a tutorial of the Ultralight Dealer Portal and the Roll Shutter Builder. Thank you for watching.